seeing if we can be the first few people who can Platinum Borderlands 4. Right when the game released, we hopped on his day and got to work on the 100-hour long plat. We chose the Vault Hunter Amon and met up with the Wet Fantasy Claptrap. We head over to one of the many safe houses and met Rush, basically the Gen Z Roland who tells us he needs our help to stop the Timekeeper. Basically the bad boy, evil guy of the game, just like the dev's most evil, grindy trophy later on. And not too long after, while we were fighting the Order troops, we reached level 10. Afterwards, we talked to Rip-Off Tannis, and she sets us up on our journey ahead, collecting 3 keys to unlock the final area of the map, leading us to the Timekeeper. In BO4, there are random world bosses that just randomly spawn in, like your ex-wife that you got that keeps coming back into your life, but this time she came with a trophy. After fighting Icebox, we headed back over to the main quest and fought our way through one of the Guardian's fortresses and confronted Saul. He was just a fatter version of Diabeto from Family Guy. After killing him, we headed back to our chocolate protein bar, finishing the quest. The trophies in here were incredibly spread apart. It took us 7 whole hours before we got our next one. I'm not complaining though. After we found the next key holder, who was named Vile Lictor, we were in shock. This was seriously the best boss fight in any Borderlands game, though it looked like they pulled this dude straight out of a tentacle hentai book. It was awesome. And after turning in the quest to the dwarf, we got our 4th trophy 7 hours later. This game was seriously about to be the longest game I've ever platinumed. The only thing keeping me sane here was Zerk.
Stop begging for your life and do it! Gain respect back for your family! Jin Sakai!
If you haven't already, you should go give him a sub. He's pretty cool. Since we had 2 out of the 3 keys, we were on yet another 7-hour long journey to get the last one from the Ripper Queen. She was probably the least entertaining boss of the 3 big bosses so far. She also looked kinda homeless. And not too long after, we killed her and turned in the quest. Throughout the whole game, we were so happy that Lilith the McDonald's fry wasn't here, since we hated her guts. But of course, the game turns it around and says she's still alive, stuck on the moon, by her own damn mistake, probably surviving on her own breast milk. Anyways. We had to go save her for like the bajillionth time in the series. She was the real weak link here. Since we had all the keys now, we headed over to the final area of the game, and while ascending to the Timekeeper, I reached level 30, like a good little boy. We got to the Timekeeper, and he was probably the coolest final boss in the franchise. He had 2 phases, and the second one, he turned into a primordial guardian, but all in all, it was a pretty easy fight. And finally, after 25 hours, we beat the game. And the first thing we must go do is insert my tip into Moxie's jar for probably the easiest trophy in the game. In here, there are 3 world events that can happen periodically through your playthrough, and they spawn by pure chance. As soon as we saw the airship world event, we headed over to it and completed it first try, as well as the slaughterhouse arena. While doing all the side quests, we started one called Exit Through the Rift Shop, and at the end of the mission, we had to slap this little boy into his rift, spawning him into his frozen goon corner. Not too long after that, yet again I get another trophy pop for unlocking 60 cosmetics, just like in every Borderlands game. And while we were doing all the side quests, we naturally finished all the Augur missions, the Outbounder missions, Clappy Wappy's missions, and the Electi missions. All of them were long like me and a nuisance just like your siblings. Since we could do more than one thing at a time, while Zerk was doing side quests, I decided I would start working on all activities, like safe houses, bandit camps, drill sites, and bunkers, that each had their own boss inside. And after doing all 53, we got another pop. And after doing all those non-main character activities, we reached max level. The only other missable trophy was for the side quest where you had to sell specific rarity guns in a certain order. So Big Brain Zerk did all the hard work and called me over for the trophy pop, giving us number 20. The last thing that was giving me hope was that we were doing this together.
I Thresher cosplay sex boy.
At this point, our brains were fried, and we needed a hit of dopamine. So we decided, let's go fight the 3 vaults scattered around the map. The first of which being Inceptus the Autistic,
Yeah, boy.
second, Radix the Flaming Rat, and third, Oringo the Blue Mango.
Mango.
After killing each one of them, there was nothing left to guard. See what I did there?
Absolutely disgusting, by the way. I almost puked.
Okay, never mind. After we did all the vaults, we discovered all the locations in each area of the map. The Fade Fields, the Dominion, Terminus Range, and lastly, Carcadia Burn. finally, after waiting patiently for hours on end, choking our chickens, we finally got the Creep Impact World event to spawn. And initially it got glitched, not letting us complete it, but after a simple save and quit, we managed to finish it. I've never felt so good in a game before. After finishing all 98 side quests and seeing that trophy pop, it was worth all 20 hours of absolute misery. Unfortunately for us, they decided to make legendary loot rare as shit again. So nearing the end of our week-long platinum, once again, Zerk came in clutch, dropping me a legendary class mod and enhancement. At the end of the game, we found a super quick farm for contracts and spammed through them, eventually completing a total of 80. Usually, new game players you start a brand new save and do everything from the beginning of the game, but here, it was absolute garbage. You had to do challenges before progressing through any main missions, like killing bosses on a harder difficulty. We had to do this 5 separate times, and after feeling like I just endured the longest edge streak of my life, we finally got it for our 30th trophy. Before we headed off to level up all of our other playable characters to level 50, which took about 30 hours on our main Vault Hunter, we headed to find the real Tannis in the sea, and after shooting the barrels in the correct order, a little show displayed, ending off with a trophy. Here, God himself came upon us. There was someone level boosting people in here, and luckily enough, we got in. And instead of a 90 to 150 hour long grueling grind, we got all 3 Vault Hunters to level 50 and claimed their vehicular devices and got the absolute hardest, grindiest trophy in the game. Initially, we planned that we would get the burrito Easter egg at the end of the game, but I had 2 very long grindy trophies away, so I hopped into Zerk's save and got the burrito shrine. I'm pretty sure this is a PvZ reference. Now, since I was alone, just brain dead killing and nothing to it, just having to use assault rifles and Jacob weapons, I got the Jacob's weapons challenge complete and the assault class challenge complete. And finally, the 100-hour long game came to an end, and we finally got the platinum trophy. Thanks for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe for more amazing content like this. Whack.